Welcome to Coffee with the Ducks. I am your co-host, Dana Bentz.
And I'm Jorge. How are you, Dana?
I'm doing well. How are you, Jorge?
I'm doing fantastic.
Brazil.
Very excited.
Close.
Where are you guys from? Let us know in the comments.
I know, so fun. Wow, I didn't even see
Dana,
we already have comments. This is so fun.
What is this show about? Let's do a quick intro before introducing our guest.
Intro. Yes, true. Thank you, Jorge. So, Coffee with the Ducks is a new show we just created a few weeks ago. I think we're on episode 2, and Jorge and I, who are employees at StreamYard, get to interview other employees at StreamYard because so many of you guys, of you StreamYard users, have wanted to know kind of more behind the scenes, like getting to know the people building StreamYard, getting to know the people who are marketing StreamYard, get to know the people who you're contacting on our customer support live chat. So we thought that this was just a great show. Every other Monday, we're going live to interview one new person on the StreamYard team. So,
wow, that's super excited. I see lots of folks. So I see Eric from Brazil. I see Jorge. Hola, Jorge. Hola, toda la gente que habla español. From Malaysia, Angeline, Willie, Brazil, UK, David, UK. Martin, UK. Wow, very so cool. Many people. Quack, quack. That's exciting, guys. So
this is so fun. So throughout the show, if you have any questions for our StreamYard duck, feel free to drop them in the comments. But we have some questions to ask them too, so you can get to know them. So, without further ado, Jorge, are you ready to bring Charlie on?
Let's bring it up.
Woohoo! Charlie joins us live.
What up?
How are you, Charlie?
I love it. Let's make him big. There we go. Okay.
So big.
Thanks for being here, Charlie.
First question, Charlie. How are you doing?
Doing good. Living life. Loving it. There's a lot of sunlight. If I was a flower, I'd be a tree right now. All this great sunlight.
I know. I like it. I love the shades. Very appropriate for our live stream show.
Thank you. You know, funny thing, these are my fifth or sixth pair of these sunglasses. I get them on Amazon. They're like $20. Because I tend to lose or break my sunglasses within 2 weeks of owning them.
I think everyone does.
So I highly suggest everyone buy cheap sunglasses. But pick something that you can buy over and over again.
Good recommendation. And those are cute. Ava says that was great. I'm jumping in. Love the idea. That's so funny. Sandra, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
So many new folks joining the StreamYard. If it's the first time, Dana is co-hosting a workshop for every new joiner. So you will find that in your emails or go to streamyard.com/contact. So Charlie, the first question, who are you and what do you do at a StreamYard?
I am Charlie, as was mentioned previously. I am a software engineer and according to LinkedIn, a wizard.
I love that.
Streamer. I don't like job titles. I prefer people pick the thing they wanted to be as a child and then use that as your job title for your entire career. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm a wizard.
That's actually so funny. So mine would be a firefighter.
Firefighter. I mean, it's pretty accurate, I would say.
That's a good point. Putting out fires wherever I go.
Yeah. Is there a fire person emoji? We need to add that to your Slack app immediately.
Ooh, I like that. It would be great if you could make it so that when you use StreamYard in a Facebook group, you can still comment. Without the ability to comment, how do I put up the link for people to join me live? That's a great point, Julie. And it's really sad that it can't be done yet. It's just a Facebook limitation that they don't let you comment outside of Facebook, since groups are a little bit more, private, closed. So they don't want you commenting from anywhere else. But yeah, noted for the future.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, 2:30 a.m.
This is commitment. We love that, bro. So
that's awesome.
So Charlie, so what do you normally do in a day-to-day live? What is your daily routine and what's your day job at a StreamYard right now?
So my day-to-day routine is pretty solid. Like I'm like a Navy SEAL. I do the same thing at the same time every day, no matter what.
Love that.
So
Love
like
it.
I wake up, I work out. That takes about 5 hours. No, kidding. I do this thing called morning pages where I write for like 30 minutes, just
Cool.
like complete brain dump.
Cool.
That's super helpful for like planning out the rest of the day. Because like building all these awesome features, you need a clear mind.
Yeah.
You need to be like tactical.
Yeah.
So I do that.
Yeah.
Completely ignore my email and other things. And then I jump in and then I just like write code in like 20-minute bursts. You know, I'm not, I like, what is that? Pomodoro?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Technique.
Pomodoro habit.
I don't have
have.
one of those like fancy little clocky things, but it's in my mind. But yeah, jump in, jump out, writing, drawing.
So you really use the Pomodoro habit, like you do 20 minutes on, and then I think it's like a 5-minute break, and then you go back 20 minutes on.
Yeah, you know, like I don't like to do anything for too long, like any one activity, unless I become like so engaged that time becomes irrelevant.
Yeah.
But if you find yourself, it's always the thing. You're like, okay, I'm gonna start working on this like feature or like fixing this bug or something. And you like start going, and then like about like 10, 15 minutes in, your mind starts to wander. You're like, man, I wonder what people are doing on Instagram right now. So you just take a break. You just step back. I don't suggest going on Instagram because you're going to spend about 5 hours on there. So don't do that.
Good
But you should like do some writing. Find some other activity to just kind of like dump your brain and then jump back in and then keep going.
That's
Love
beautiful. I must tell
Good
you
tip.
that I wish I could do more Pomodoros more often. I just feel like sometimes when I'm coding, especially like if I'm doing product stuff, okay, it could be like more changing context. But when I'm coding, is like sometimes like 2 hours in a row. I don't want to move out of the table.
Yeah.
So quite interesting though. Is there any specific trick that you use for keep yourself very disciplined on that sense?
No, I don't think there is a trick.
No.
There isn't a trick because see, the human mind is very well equipped at getting you to find workarounds. So like I've tried like things that like will block certain websites or like lock you into an app or like all these things, but you find ways around it.
Yeah.
And then once you've broken it, that's it. You can't go. So you just have to build up resilience, you know, mental resilience, and that's it. That's the trick. Become more resilient.
Smart.
We got this question, by the way, from Angela, which is, should hire a good graphic UI designer? Angela, we have nice people working on something very exciting very soon. But you bring like super nice comment, which is about like templates and right now what is happening, right? Like it's covering my face. So definitely thanks for the feedback. And if you have any other feedback, just let us know.
You can also turn on this feature, Angela, just so you know, that scoots us all up so that Jorge's not totally covered. You know, like if we show this comment, well, if we show a bigger comment, it scoots us all up. So you can also turn that feature on to make it a little bit better. But I know when we have that feature off, then it totally just covers Jorge all at the bottom.
You know what we should do? We should have, if we want to show a comment, Jorge needs to write it on a board and then hold it up.
And then hold it up in his webcam box.
Yeah, we're going to
like
get
that.
you a big whiteboard.
I actually do have a whiteboard in the other room. So don't tell
Or
me.
just project it on your green screen.
Oh,
Oh, wouldn't that be funny? Jorge! Wait. Oh my gosh. Jorge! That's a huge whiteboard. That's like
that's where the good ideas happen. And the
it's
bad
like bigger
ones
than
too.
your green screen. That's so big.
That's like a bat cave. You got a lot of tools in there.
I know.
It's like a giraffe. I got one of those. Hold on.
Ooh, Luis
Anyway, let's
says,
keep going.
how can we implement animated backgrounds in our streams? So
Coming
we don't
soon.
we do not. Yeah, coming soon. I think you can still do GIF file, but you can't. We don't have that turned on right now. But it can't be a video yet. But good question. Okay, back to you, Jorge.
Back to me. No, but thanks for all the comments, guys. You're amazing. So, Charlie, I saw you study economics. So, how did you get into software engineering? What did excite you about software engineering, and what was your baby steps in that sense?
So it was a long, windy road. I studied economics with like a great dream of like becoming like president of the IMF or something. And then I realized that I talked to a lot of people that work at like the IMF and the World Bank and stuff. And they were like, if you want to do something impactful with your life, don't become an economist.
Interesting.
Because like you spend a lot of your career doing a lot of research. And handing that off to people that make decisions. And those people rarely want to take economist advice. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something else. And then I did like so many different things. And then when I was like 27, I ended up in London and completely unsure about what I wanted to do with my life. But I really liked creating things. And I was like, I want to create. What is a skill that I have where I can create some stuff? And I had been programming for like a while. Nothing like too serious, just like fun stuff, building sites for like friends and local businesses. And I was like, you know what, let me try and like make this a career. And then like after making that decision within like 3 months, I got a gig at a startup, and 8 years later, here I am.
Cool. Wow, how fun. So then after you joined that startup, you were just like, this is what I love. Like, I love building things. I love programming.
Yeah. It was tough in the beginning because if you're building stuff on your own, and this is something I always say to like people who want to break into engineering, is you should work on stuff by yourself until you feel like you can translate a thought you have into a piece of code. Nothing too serious. Just like if I wanted to show a button and hide it, could I do that? And then once you have those basic skills, you should start working with a team of people on anything. It could be the dumbest idea that's never going to work, that you're going to waste a lot of time on and be really upset with. And you should just do that because it teaches you how to work with other people. And it teaches you whether or not you actually want to do this for a job. Because like, no man is an island.
Yeah.
So if you want to make something, you can't make it by yourself. You got to make it with other people. So being an engineer full-time at a startup for like right out the gate, it was perfect. The team was super small. We all worked really close together. We all become very close friends. So I learned how to be a professional, how to like professionalize my skills.
So step one, if you want to be a software developer, is like work on a couple of projects by yourself. Like figure out how to, like you said, like if you want to build a button and then get rid of it or something like
that. It's that simple. Like you want to pick the dumbest ideas you have. Really,
like a to-do list.
It's the only way, because like the thing that holds a lot of people back, and this is not only for junior engineers, this is also for senior engineers. What holds people back is overthinking an idea and not building it. Where it's like, oh, I have an idea. Should I build this? And you just come up with all these things, and you can rationalize yourself out of doing it.
Okay.
And all that's going to do is going to stop you from learning how to do that thing. Because what you want to learn is not how to implement that specific idea. You want to learn how to implement things of that nature. And then you end up applying that to something else.
Got it. So you learn the skill of implementing something, like you learn the theme of implementing like whatever, buttons or something, like a website or whatever. So that's like step one. And then you think step two is really like the collaboration process, because that's so important to like work with a team. Yeah,
get with a team. Find like it's so easy, like what I did is early on, I went on GitHub and I just looked at people who had like no stars, like people who were just like, they had like 100 repos and no stars. and I would just be like, hey, I see this thing that you have. It's kind of stupid, but let's work on it together. Maybe we could turn it into something cool. So like I worked on a lot of like JavaScript utility libraries just to like make things easier, CSS toolkits like before Bootstrap and like during Bootstrap and stuff like that.
Cool.
And just like, whatever things that came to nothing. But, you make friends, and you learn skills. And also you never know if you want to be a software engineer until you actually start doing it.
True.
Like
True.
you may think like, oh, I'm someone. So I used to teach software engineering, and I would have a lot of people who were like, oh, I'm never going to be good at this because I'm not good at math, or I'm not good at science, or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like I studied, philosophy, so this isn't going to be the career for me. It's like anyone can do this. You just have to like enjoy the practice of building something, and you have to enjoy being frustrated like 99% of the time.
Okay, so that's my next question. Jorge, I know it's your question segment, but I'm dying to ask this question. So I'm just curious. So I know there's so many points when you're like building something or coding something or programming something where it's like you get stuck and you like don't know what to do, or you don't know how to figure it out, or like you can't solve this bug. So like what's your strategy for people who maybe are new and they're at that point?
So first thing, when you find a thing where you're like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to figure this out, realize that even someone who's been working as an engineer for like 15, 20 years, they feel that way 99% of the time.
Oh no. So it's just your fate.
It goes back to the conversation earlier. It's just your resilience. A senior software engineer is someone who, no matter how frustrated they get, they just keep writing code. It's not, they know the code that they're writing is bad. They know that. It's like, this is bad, but I will go back and fix it later.
Interesting.
Right now, I just need to write a whole bunch of bad stuff. And then just work on it later, and then my code will get better. And then after a while, like after you do that, you learn very good patterns, and your bad code is better. You still write bad code. It's just better than your old bad code. So just like, you get to a point where you can't figure something out, just keep going. No one knows what they're doing. We're all grasping at straws, trying to find solutions.
Yeah, I feel like I think you touched really great points in those answers. So the first one is just like start building something. I would say like motivation driven development is the best stuff. So I started into software, which that's gonna be another show about. Because I wanted to build things, right? I had ideas and I wanted to execute on them. But I also got very frustrated at the beginning, right? Because like it was like, why is this not working? So I think you touched a really great point about like senior software engineer. Most of the times they know like they will get struggle, but at some point they will figure out how to overcome that problem in particular. And I think juniors get panic when something is not working. It's like, why is this not working? And they start like walking around and telling people. But definitely a really great point, Charlie. So thanks for sharing that. So now the last question from this part for me would be normally like how do you balance like delivering as a software engineer, but also thinking about the user and thinking about product itself?
It's a good question.
It is.
I don't think there's a difference. I don't think there's like a balance. I think that for anything, like when you first start out engineering, you are very focused on the engineering portion. And this kind of ties into the previous question. Like if you're trying to solve a problem and you're trying to think about it purely from the code perspective, you're going to go down the wrong track. You're going to build something that's probably overcomplicated and probably something no one wants. So no matter what it is, no matter what I'm trying to solve, I always think, does the user care? How much do they care? How can this be built best to solve their problem? And sometimes they classic quote, the best code is code that isn't written.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That is a big part of it.
What does that mean?
I used
what does that mean
say,
to you?
Huh?
What does that mean? The best code is not written.
It means that, so no matter what code you write, it's going to have to be maintained by someone at some point. Probably not you, probably someone else, or you at a later date. Both of those people are not going to be happy with what you've done. So, you really have to think, how important is this to the product as a whole, and what is this really delivering to the user in the end? Is it delivering a more stable product? Is it delivering a feature that they've been dying for? Sometimes you're given a task to build something new, and you're like, you know what? This may not be necessary if we add something to something else. And I think a lot of software engineers, they think that their job is just to translate a task into working code.
Right.
And in the beginning, sure, to some degree. But your task is to translate, should that thing be built, and how can it be built best? So, every software engineer is really a product engineer as well.
Yep, Stephen agrees.
Always think about the user, no matter what it is. Color of a button, border radius, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
I agree. Now it's time for Dana for the last section of the show. By the way, thanks a lot of, there's tons of questions, comments in the chat. Please, guys, also be aware that if you have any questions or any feedback, or you want to be part of user interviews, you can go to StreamYard.com/contact, and you just send us an email. And, if you want to be part of our roadmap and bring it up feedback ideas, go there. As well as if you struggle with any technical question, go there as well. Because I've seen people suggesting really nice ideas, so we will write them down. But also you can go to that link. Anyway, Dana, it's your time. Let's go to
my favorite part.
Oh boy, I'm scared. Let's do this.
Okay, so I have 10 questions.
Okay.
Most of them are one-word answers. Okay. Ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, first question. Do you prefer texting or talking?
Talking.
Okay. Favorite day of the week?
Every day.
What? Okay. It was one word. Okay. Favorite city in the world besides the one you live in?
London.
Nice. Your nickname that your parents used to call you?
Wally.
Oh, that's cute. Okay. What's your favorite holiday?
My birthday.
Scale from 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
-15.
Okay, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning?
2 minutes.
Love it. Age that you want to retire?
Yesterday.
Last Halloween costume that you wore?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I dressed as myself this Halloween.
You dressed as yourself.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, love it. And then the last one is say any word in Spanish.
Chicharrones.
Chicharrones. Fantastic.
What does that mean, Jorge? What does that mean?
Just food.
Oh, just food.
Just
Nice.
Food. Some Mexican food here.
It's not
Right,
Mexican.
It's not Mexican?
I take offense to that.
Chicharrones.
I'm going to send you a basket of chicharrones now. See?
Oh my God.
Chicharrones. I thought, or the origin is Mexican. Anyway.
Anyway.
Charlie, we have the final question for you, which is, who do you nominate? Who should bring next to the show?
Oh, man. I don't know who's been on. Christian?
Christian. He hasn't been on.
No,
Boom.
he hasn't been on.
Boom.
There you go.
Okay, he's up next.
All right, awesome, Charles.
Nice. This was
Thank
so
you
So
fun.
much.
Yes, thank you so much for being our guest and telling our users all about you and how to be a software developer. It was so fun.
Love you guys.
And everyone, we'll see you in 2 weeks on Monday.
2 weeks. See you
Peace.
here.
Bye, everyone.